What's up, guys? I'm back with another video, but this time it's not a prank. This is more like a story time about how I found out I was pregnant and stuff. So yeah, but I'm gonna take y'all way back to the day I was born because it has a lot to do. Because yeah, okay, let me start. So when I was born, my mom had already had a kid, my brother Gabriel. Okay, so she already had a baby, so it was like maybe too soon to have me. So what she did, she was like, I was raised by my grandma since day one, since I was born, since I was a newborn. I was raised by my grandma. So basically my grandma's my mom. The funny part is, guys, that I didn't know that my mom was my mom till I was like 12 years old. And how did I know? Because I moved to Houston with her. I didn't say this, but I was raised in Mexico, guys. I forgot about that. My grandma lives in Ciudad Mérida, Tamaulipas, so I was raised there. I was born in Texas, but I was raised in Mexico for 12 years. So I don't know if y'all, well, mostly I don't know this, but in Ciudad Mier, there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of shooting, there's a lot of kidnapping, there's a lot of everything, because that's just what it is. It's carteles and shit like that. So yeah. So when I was 12, everything like that started happening. So my grandma told me that I was gonna go live with my mom. So when she told me that, I was like, wait, what? My mom? Aren't you my mom? So, you know, I was like, what the fuck? What's going on? So I went to Houston at 12. I started 6th grade. I would get bullied and stuff. So yeah. Well, that doesn't have anything to do with this though. So I went to go live with my mom, and I started school and stuff. And I was a sophomore over there. School was about to end, but I was living with my mom and my stepdad and my brothers and sister. My stepdad got deported, so he had to come over here to Mexico. You know, they deported him to Mexico. So my mom decided to come live over here in Rio Grande, which is like 10 minutes away from the border, and then Mexico City. I mean, not Mexico City, but Mexico. And yeah. So we came from Houston. I stayed in Houston for like, I was 16, so 12, 13, 14, 15, 4 years. I was in Houston for 4 years. In those 4 years, I learned a lot of English. That's why my English is not that, like, it doesn't sound good, because I only had 4 years to learn it. So yeah. So we came over here to Rio Grande, and I started high school with my big brother, and I was a sophomore. It was March. In May the school was gonna end. So I started March, and I think it was like, I don't remember how many classes there were, but yeah. So I had 5th period. I met this girl, Angie, if you see this, I love you, girl. She was the only, well, not the only, I had other girls, but she was the only one that I felt like more comfortable with. So in my 5th period, I had this child development class. So when I went, there was no kids. There was only the teacher. I was like, oh, we'll have this class. And she was like, well, I don't have anybody in this class, so let's do something. You can go to wherever you want. If you want to have two lunch periods, then go ahead. So, you know, that teacher was really cool. So she let me like leave and stuff. So I went. So what I was doing, I was going to Angie's class in history. And there's where I met my significant other. You know, when I saw him, the first time I saw him, he was laying down on his head. I mean, like, he was asleep, I think. He was like this or something like that. So I was like, hey, who's that? You know, she was like, oh, that's Jonathan and stuff. And then when he saw that I came in, he stood up and he was like, he asked somebody, he was like, hey, who's that? So yeah, but at the time he had a girlfriend. So, you know, I really liked him, but I didn't want to tell him because he had a girlfriend, and I respected that, and I didn't want like trouble and stuff. So yeah. So we were friends and stuff. Yeah, we were friends. And then school ended, and it was summer. I was living in Rio Grande, but like, me and my mom have never been in good terms. I don't know. Well, I know why, because when I went to Houston, I started like hanging out with these people that I guess they were not good for me, because I started doing bad things. I started sneaking out of the house maybe like at 1 in the morning, and I would come back like at 4, and I would smoke. I would do a lot of things. So yeah, I made her life miserable, I can say that. And yeah, anyways, so summer came by, and me and mama got in a fight, and she didn't want me with her no more. So I went back to Mexico, which is like 10 minutes away. Like I said, 10 minutes away from the border. So my grandma lives like 30 minutes away. Yeah. So she lives in Ciudad Mier. So all summer I was with her, and I was like, man, how am I gonna go to school now and stuff? So yeah, well, anyways, I added Jonathan on Facebook, and you know how those, well, I'm pretty sure everybody has done it, like, and I will admit. So I did that, and I admitted to him that I liked him and stuff since the day I saw him. And then he was like, oh, you know, I really like you too. Hold up, guys. Sorry guys, my husband came. So yeah, like I was saying, yeah, I admitted and I told him I liked him. He told me he liked me too and stuff. We started talking, and then we started dating on June 26, 2015. And we never saw each other during all summer. We were just waiting for school to start so we could start seeing each other. And yeah, well, the thing was that, like, my grandma lived like maybe like 20 minutes away from the border, so I couldn't like go to school every day. So what I did, I had to stay with my aunt. So I stayed with her during all school year, because like her apartment is like 2 minutes away from the border. So I walked, and he would pick me up. So months passed by. I think it was January, March, April, May, June, July, August. Oh, September. I think September is the first month that I missed my period. I knew I was pregnant because a few weeks passed, and every time I woke up every day at 5 in the morning to get ready and to go to walk to the border, and then he'd pick me up. So every time I would wake up, I would have this morning sickness. So I was like, I'm pregnant, I know it. But the thing was that he didn't believe I was. Why? Because before me, he was dating, well, like, he was like 16 or 17 when he was dating this bitch that she faked the pregnancy for 6 fucking months. So thanks to this bitch, he did not believe I was pregnant. I would make pregnancy tests and send the pictures to him. He would not believe I was pregnant. He wanted proof. And I never wanted to tell my mom and my grandma, because like I wasn't in good. I've never seen my mom during summer, because like we got in that fight. And yeah, and I didn't want to tell my grandma, because she had told me last time that if she ever found out that I was pregnant, that would ruin her, then that would make her feel bad and stuff. So I never wanted to tell her. So like 3 months passed. It was December 9th. It was Tuesday. I think it was a Tuesday when she called me. I just came from school, and I was at my tia's house, and she called me. She was like, hey, don't go to school tomorrow, because I'm gonna go to your tia's house, because we need to talk. When she told me that, I was like, you know, I need to tell her already, because she's probably already knows, so I have to tell her. So I texted my husband. I was like, hey, I'm not gonna go. I think he told me that he was not gonna go too, or something like that. So next day came, and she came home. Home to the apartment. It was like at 9 in the morning, and she was in the kitchen, and she was like, hey, come to the kitchen. So I went to the kitchen, and she was like, we need to talk and everything. And then there's when she told me that, she was like, are you pregnant? And I was like, you know, I started crying because, like, that's my mom, and because of what she told me before, I didn't want to make her feel bad about how she raised me and stuff. And I told her, yeah, I am pregnant. You know, she started crying. I started crying with her, and she was like, why do you tell me? Why do you have the confidence to tell me and stuff? And I told her that because of what she told me. She was like, I just told you that. I'm pretty sure every mother tells their kids something to scare them so they won't do something they don't want them to do. And she was like, but you know, I was gonna be here for you no matter what. You're my like my daughter and stuff. So that same day, she called my mom and she told her that if she could pick us up because we needed to talk. And okay, by the time my mom was already living in Mexico, in Miguel Alemán, because she moved there closer to my stepdad. So yeah, so she called my mom and she said, yeah, I'm gonna go pick you up. I hadn't seen my mom for like maybe all summer, I think. And when she picked us up, we went to her house. I was sitting down on her couch and I was looking down because of of everything that I have done and the bad terms that we were on. And you know, I was afraid of my mom, afraid of her, because there's been a lot of things going on and I did not want to tell her. So my grandma told her, and when she told her that I was pregnant, I thought that she was gonna like bitch at me or hit me or say something bad to me. But she started crying and she was asking me, how far along are you? And I told her that I did not know, maybe like 3 months or 2. I have no idea. And she was like, okay, tomorrow don't go to school again so we can go check how far along you are and everything. So we went to go check. I checked myself over there in Mexico. I was 13 weeks, 3 months, and they told me the sex of my baby. They told me if he was gonna have Down syndrome, any problems, anything. They told me it's a boy. He's healthy. There's nothing wrong with him. They gave me the date. He was gonna be born on July 19th, but he did not make it to that day. Okay, so anyways, I'm gonna talk about that later on. So my mom talked to my husband's in-laws, to my husband's parents, and you know, they were like, oh, well, she can come live with us and stuff, so she can come check herself over here in Texas and she can have the baby over here and stuff. And you know, I was like, yeah, I want to go with him. And me and my grandma were about to leave to Corpus Christi for a vacation. But when I told him, he was like, oh, I already wanted you with me, but if you want to go, then go. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go with him. So, you know, I already had my things packed. So I was like, nah, Grandma, I'm not going to go with you. I'm already going to go with him. So I went to his house. It was maybe like the 13th or 14th. I'm not sure when it was, but I'm pretty sure it was already like, no, never mind, I was gonna say like Christmas break, but never mind, it was not. It was about to be Christmas break when I went to live with him. And yeah, we started going to school and stuff. Every morning we take the bus, and I remember it was a Tuesday at 3:10 in the morning when I woke up, because I was peeing myself. I peed myself like 3 times. I was like, what is going on with me? I can't hold my pee in and stuff. So it was time for us to wake up to get ready to go to school. And I told him that I was peeing myself. He was like, nah, it's probably nothing. And I was like, no, there's probably something going on. I texted my mom because we were already in good terms. So I texted my mom and I told her that this was going on and stuff. She was like, go to the hospital because that sounds like your water broke. And I told him to take me. He wanted to go to school, and I was like, take me to the hospital. So he took me to the hospital. We stayed there like for maybe till, it was like, we went like at 6 in the morning maybe, and we stayed there till like 7 or 8 because they transferred me to McAllen, Texas, because they were like, you the sac is like, it has a rip in the water, that's why it's leaking, so you have to be in rest for 11 weeks. So I was gonna stay in the hospital for 11 weeks till the baby was gonna be delivered and stuff. But well, at 8 they took me to McAllen Medical. They gave me a room and stuff, and they put that thing that they put, I don't know what's it called, for you to not stand up and go to pee, so you just pee. It's like a bag, yeah. So the next day came by. It was a Wednesday, and it was like at 8, 9 when I woke up, but I always felt like something was pushing the little tube. And I told the doctor, I was like, I feel like something's pushing the tube and everything. She was like, well, that's weird. I'm gonna tell them to come in and do an ultrasound and stuff. And they did the ultrasound, and then they told me, well, the baby's hand is already out, so you have to have an emergency C-section. So I had the emergency C-section. They were already planning it. It was like 12 something. My baby was born at 12:42 p.m. He was born premature at 25 weeks, weighing 1 pound, 14 ounces. He was like 13 centimeters long, I believe. He was really tiny, guys. He was like, not even exaggerating, he was like let's say kind of like this back, this tiny. He had to have a tube because he was not breathing by himself. He had a lot of things connected to him and stuff. It was a really hard moment because the first thing that came to my mind was, what if he doesn't make it? What if he doesn't make it? What if the next day he's not with us and stuff? And my grandma's birthday was the 10th, so it was the 9th, and my grandma came, I think that night, to stay with me in the hospital because he just started working. He applied for a job at a gas station, and he had just gotten hired. So his first day working was March 9th, the day that our kid was born. So he was just there to see the baby born, and then he had to go back to Rio Grande, which is like, ¿cuánto be? Like 1 hour, right? Away? Yeah.
1 hour 25 minutes.
Like 1 hour 25 minutes away. So he had to drive back to start his new job and stuff.
And then get back at 12 or...
Yeah, and then when he finished working, he came back at night. It was like he finished at 12. So maybe he arrived like at 1 in the morning, 1:30 in the morning to the hospital just to stay there and then to leave the next day again. But my grandma was with me. She spent her birthday with me, guys. Like, she's my mama. So she spent her birthday with me. And yeah, she was there. We were looking at a little baby. I don't know, like they make you walk whenever you have that freaking cut on the bottom of your lonja. They make you walk. So they made me walk all the way to go see my baby. And once I was there, I started feeling dizzy and stuff, like I was gonna faint or something. So they had to take me back to the room. For 3 months, guys, my kid was in the NICU. 3 months he was there. 3 months I could not even touch him. I couldn't even hold him on my chest, nothing. Because he was so delicate, so small and everything. And he was 3 months old, 3.5 months old. That was the first time me and my husband were able to touch him, to feel him, to change his diaper, to do everything, to hug him, to carry him, to do all of that. And then little by little they started taking off machines off of him because he was doing pretty good. And the last machine he had on was oxygen, but not on his mouth, but on his nose. So he stayed with the oxygen. Well, we had to stay in the hospital like every new parent. Like they have to stay a whole night to see, the doctors have to check how you take care of the baby and stuff. So we stay there for that night, taking care of, there's my baby, it's my baby. So yeah, we stay there to take care of him for the night, so we could leave next day and take him with us. And we started with nothing, guys. Like, we were living, well, we still have a little trailer, but we were living in this trailer that was not even ours. We just borrowed it, and yeah, it was like so tiny and stuff. But we were so happy to take him home. We were also like really scared because like he needed oxygen, so we had to carry the oxygen tank everywhere we went. And like, my mom is in Mexico, so she could never see him for 3 months because like she doesn't have papers, right? So like maybe like a week or two passed, and I went to take him to see my mom for the first time. He was so tiny. I had to walk because like I didn't have a car, so I had to walk the border and have the baby la carriola, like the stroller, and then with one hand and the other one with the oxygen. And yeah, but now he's like really big and everything. He's doing pretty well. He's been through so much. He had when he was born, I forgot about this part. When he was born, he had a brain bleed, which is level 4, which is the worst brain bleed that there can be. And he had it on the right side, which the right side controls the left side, so he has trouble like moving his little hand and his little foot. But other than that, he's really healthy and stuff. And they told me a lot of things, that he was maybe not gonna be able to walk, maybe not gonna be able to talk, and a lot of things that they told me. But he is able to walk, but he has to hold on to things and stuff. But the only problem is his little hand. He's maybe like always like this. His hand is always like this. It's really rare for him to open it and move it, and yeah. So that's pretty much it, guys. A little story about us, about our pregnancy and stuff, because I feel like y'all deserve to know. And y'all not subscribers, y'all are family. And yeah, so if you're new, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe to our channel, because there's gonna be more videos coming. There's gonna be pranks, vlogs, story times, anything. And yeah, guys, so yeah, thank you for watching.